From the locks being changed to the tweet battle, there are so many moments in Amber's cross-examination that you might have missed. I'm Melissa Melati, your host, and here are your top 10 moments you didn't hear about from Amber Heard's cross-examination. In our number 10 spot today, we have Amber filed first. This was a moment that almost slipped through my fingers as I was watching the trial. It was a moment where we learned that 2 months before Amber's infamous Washington op-ed was published, she initiated an arbitration against Johnny Depp for defamation. When Ms. Vasquez, Johnny's lawyer, questioned her about it, she said it was really just a letter that her team sent to Johnny's team. So why is this small detail important? Well, most people don't realize that in order for Johnny to win his case, or to most likely win his case, his team has to show that Amber expressed malice in her op-ed against Johnny. And hearing that in only 2 months prior to the article being published, Amber was warning Johnny that she may sue him for defamation, one could argue that her article was a direct response to it and a form of an attack on him. But all that matters is that the jury picked up on that, and to be honest, the moment was so fast, so I wonder if they even did. In our 9th spot today, we have Smiling Amber. At this point of the trial, Johnny's lawyers played a video clip of Miss Heard's original deposition back in 2016. In the clip, Amber is being questioned in a room full of lawyers about her relationship, and then one of the infamous tapes begins to play, and we watch her listen to it along with everyone. The tape that is being played is the one where Amber and Johnny are discussing Amber kicking the door into Johnny's head. She's apologizing and saying that she never meant to, but admitting to intending to hit him when he was trying to leave. And while the tape is playing, we see Amber eating and being kind of blank-faced about what she's hearing, but then she starts to smirk after looking at what seems to be a lawyer, and then as the tape continues, she starts rolling her eyes a bit and continues to smirk. When the tape finishes, Johnny's lawyers question her about smiling as the audio is playing, and if she doesn't take beating up her husband seriously. Amber replied, arguing that she was just smiling because everyone else in the room was rolling their eyes and smiling. But regardless of the reason, the clip did show a clear lack of respect for the seriousness of the conversation, and as she goes on to speak about Johnny being dramatic towards the end of the clip, we are then able to once again see that she doesn't respect his feelings and has a lack of respect for the situation as a whole. In our number 8 spot today, we have the tweet. Throughout the questioning, Ms. Vasquez, Johnny's lawyer, asks Amber if she wants to move on from this whole situation, referring to all the drama from this relationship and to leave it in the past. As I was watching this, I was kind of wondering, where is she going with this? She's asked her this a few times now. What is she trying to do? Of course, Amber replies that she, of course, wants to move on. Eventually, my question was answered when Johnny's lawyer brought up a tweet conversation between Amber and Johnny's former lawyer, Adam Waldman. In this conversation, it begins with Adam provoking Amber about wearing makeup, and she takes the bait and replies, "Yes, Mr. Waldman, I may be wearing makeup on this occasion, but on every occasion, you will still be short." Damn. Harsh. I believe that through showing this tweet, Johnny's lawyers were wanting to show that she can have a cutthroat side, but also they wanted to show that if she indeed was in the headspace of wanting to move on, she would not be engaging in petty tweets. Actions speak louder than words. In our number 7 spot today, we have the mirror. This is another one that I'm truly surprised that people aren't talking about more. In the cross-examination, we viewed a mirror picture from when Amber and Johnny were in Australia in 2015. The mirror photo was taken on the day that Johnny severed his finger, and after this accident, he took to painting the walls with paint as well as this particular mirror. He wrote a few messages on the mirror, and Amber took a picture of it. On this same day, Amber has alleged that Johnny injured her body with a bottle as well as beat her up. What's interesting though is that there are no pictures of her injuries. Johnny's lawyer points out that not only are there no injury photos, but you also can't see Amber in the reflection of the mirror photo, almost as if that were intentional, because perhaps she had no injuries. If you thought to take a picture of writing on a mirror, would you not think to take a picture of your injuries as well? Especially since she has taken other injury photos and documented those, and this was supposed to be a time where she was really hurt. In our number 6 spot today, we have the love journal. Apparently throughout their relationship, Johnny and Amber kept a journal to which Amber called it a love journal. It was a journal where they supposedly wrote love letters to each other and what seems like also apology notes. Now, we only only got to see a very small fraction of this book. 3 entries in fact, so it's hard to jump to conclusions, and we have to understand that Johnny's lawyers want to keep painting her in a bad light, as that's their job, so we really can't know if the journal was mainly love notes or apologies unless we get to read it. But certainly from the 3 entries that we read, the perspective we were given was that it's mainly Amber apologizing. Amber says that's not an accurate representation of the book, so fair enough, we have to try to remain unbiased. But what was interesting is these entries took place right around the time that Amber was supposedly seriously injured by Mr. Depp, and one in particular was after a supposed altercation where he hurt her again. So it is curious why she is so apologetic over hurting him, when the picture that she has been painting is that Mr. Depp physically hurt her during this time. In our number 5 spot today, we have Change the Locks. Amber has testified that she was trying to change the locks to the penthouse apartments on May 27th, 2016. But it was revealed in the cross-examination that she actually attempted to change the locks and supposedly did change them on May 22nd, 2016. Why is this important? Ms. Vasquez, Johnny's lawyer, said, "But you changed the locks to the penthouses on May 22nd, 2016, to which Amber replied, "I attempted to," which led Johnny's lawyer to reply, "That's why you felt comfortable having James Franco over the evening of May 22nd. To which Amber played off and said, "I do not know when James came over." Oh, that's convenient. It's only on the elevator footage that the lawyers have shown a few times in court, and also, isn't it curious that she seemingly remembers every detail of things that happened in 2012 all the way to 2016, including describing her friend's shirt being a mesh shirt in one of her parties, but she cannot remember when James came over, even though it was right after the supposed last injury that she endured from Johnny. Then Johnny's lawyer proceeds to show Amber the infamous clip of her getting cozy in the elevator with a date and timestamp on it. Right after, seconds after this clip is shown, she is asked if it's past 11 p.m. at night, and Amber replies, "I'm not quite sure the time, it looked like that." Oh, Amber, just tell the truth. Everyone saw the timestamp only 1 second ago. This was not a good moment for her. In our number 4 spot today, we have Sleeping Johnny. Lots of photos of Johnny allegedly passed out on the floor or in a chair were shown to the court. Apparently Johnny would just nod off, and so Amber said she took these photos because he wouldn't remember, and she wanted to show him that it had gotten that bad. She took multiple pictures, including one of him sleeping in a chair on vacation on his island, and she testified that he wasn't sleeping, he was nodding off. There was a difference. She agreed that these photos were embarrassing, especially a picture where Johnny was asleep and ice cream was all over him. Amber agreed that it was embarrassing to look at and that it shows that this is someone that clearly needs help. This was a seemingly caring moment that only lasted for a minute before Johnny Depp's lawyer showed a text message convo with one of Amber's friends, and this convo revealed that even though Amber knows this picture is embarrassing and sad to see, she sent it to her friend anyway, telling her friend that, quote, "This is what she has to deal with." Not her most compassionate moment. In our number 3 spot today, we have No Records. With all the injuries that Amber Heard allegedly had throughout her long relationship with Johnny, she weirdly has no medical records or dental records. When asked about the dental records and whether she had to see an oral surgeon or get dental work due to the injuries, she replied that she never needed to. Then when asked if she had any medical records showing that she required reconstructive work, she replied, "I never required reconstructive work, so there would be no records." But what was interesting is that she spun her reply in a way to seem like, well, duh, obviously if I didn't need surgery then there would be no records, duh. But what she was doing was taking the attention away from the fact that clearly she either A, didn't have very bad injuries, unlike what she described she had, otherwise she would have had to go to the doctor, at least for the possible broken nose, and the bottle put inside her to make sure there's no further damage. Something that someone who wants to be a future mother would care about. Or B, the point of perhaps she had no injuries and that's why there are no medical records. In our number 2 spot today, we have No Pictures. Pictures were shown of Amber at an event the day after Mr. Depp allegedly whacked her on the face so hard that she thought her nose was broken. The scene goes as follows. Johnny's attorney said to Amber, "Your nose doesn't appear to be injured in any of these pictures, does it, Miss Heard?" Amber replies, "I'm wearing makeup." Johnny's lawyer says, "Your nose doesn't appear to be injured in any of these pictures, does it, Miss Heard?" To which Amber replied, "That's why I'm wearing makeup." Johnny's lawyer says, right, and makeup covers up swelling, right? To which Amber replied, makeup will not cover up swelling, but ice will. Johnny's lawyer says, ice will cover up swelling? To which Amber replied, ice reduces swelling. Normally the swelling after that kind of injury is not as bad as you can imagine, and for me it wasn't that bad. I have the picture of it underneath the makeup. That's how I know how to reference it. Johnny's lawyer replied, a picture that you haven't produced to this jury? Amber replied, I produced everything. The scene went on like this only for Amber to claim that she would like to show this alleged picture, but it is not her job. Once again deflecting the blame onto her lawyers, which honestly, who knows how the jury thinks, and I bet in her mind all she's thinking is, as long as the jury believes me, that's all that matters. In our number 1 spot today we have the bed. This is the most interesting moment that I'm shocked people aren't talking about more. This is the point in the cross-examination when Johnny Depp's lawyer got Amber to confirm that she testified that on December 15, 2015, Johnny broke the bed. More specifically, he broke the bed frame with his boot while they were in an altercation. Amber Heard agreed to speaking of this. Johnny's lawyer then proceeded to show a picture that Amber took that depicted the broken bed. Amber confirmed that this is indeed the picture that shows the broken bed in her story. But then the attorney scrolls into the photo and shows a pocket knife literally on the bed. Something that is way more likely to break the wooden bed frame than a boot. Of course, Amber stumbled for a second and then proceeded to indicate that she did not damage the bed with that knife, but Johnny's boot did while he was punching her. But then Camille, Johnny's lawyer, asks Heard about how she testified that there was blood all over the pillows and proceeded to ask Amber where the pictures were for that. And Heard admitted to not taking a picture of the pillows. Wow, what a mic dropping moment. That's all the time I have for you today, everyone. I'm Melissa Mulati, your host, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. Good day.